From r/fanfiction, what fanfic title are you most proud of? Hello writers! Decided to procrastinate a little longer on my fic and ask y'all what fanfic title you're proud of. Go ahead and brag about it. There are no wrong answers. Credit to user 3greenninja for starting this thread, and let's go read some answers. I can't believe my wife is a war criminal! And a VTuber or something. It just exudes light novel energy. I liked A Match Made in a Room Adjacent to Heaven. My fic is titled Raisins. Okay, hear me out. There's a reason behind this that I cannot spoil too much of, but for the greater theme, it's a story about feeling out of place in a new world, and I don't like raisins as a dried fruit, so it felt right to me. Conflict Resolution 101, or How to Communicate with the Flayed Corpse of a Newborn God. That's exactly the kind of weird I fell in love with. Honestly, I just love irritating people with long titles. Breaking the Hobbit. Hobbit fanfiction inspired by the song Breaking the Habit. It's so on the nose and I love it for it. This isn't my fic, but one of my faves is titled Hot Doctors, and the author admits it was just a working title, but they liked it so much it stuck. Let me guess, was it about hot doctors? Mine is a series of drabbles about moaning Myrtle coming to terms with death. It's called Mourning Myrtle. Home is where the heart is, and my heart is with you. I love that title. Haven't posted this one, but it's gotta be Lost My Humanity, Found Myself. It's simple and nothing too unique, but I think it's nice. Never meddle in the affairs or books of sorcerers, or Why You Shouldn't Let Norse Gods Watch Anime. Both are MCU fics with Loki involved. Probably The Devil and I Get Along Just Fine. Just a small one-shot about the hero seducing the villain for his mission. I wish I could take any credit for mine, but I end up yoinking song lyrics. They live such fragile lives. I knew I had hit the mark with this title when it drew in all the angst eaters in the fanbase like moths to a flame. One reviewer even asked me if I got the title from a certain line of dialogue in a heart-wrenching story quest. I came up with the title while listening to All American Rejects. Probably Give Up the Ghost, wherein two characters meet earlier than in canon when one dies and the other is struck by lightning. The latter survives and starts seeing ghosts. As the pair bonds together, the ghost doesn't realize he'll eventually fade away. Mine is called Things Left Unsaid. The original working title was called Let's Go to the Zoo, so I think the new one is a major upgrade. The main character has feelings for his best friend, but also thinks his best friend is straight, until they have a phone conversation about his best friend's recent breakup, and he realizes that during their phone conversation, his friend wasn't using pronouns, so he starts wondering if maybe he's got a chance. It's a slow burn series, so at the end of this fics arc, the main character decides he's not ready to risk his friendship and everything that comes with it, so he doesn't say anything to his best friend. The way the outline is working out, there's lots of other instances where things go unsaid as well. There is the one story I have that's just for a laugh based on a long discussion in a group chat. It's a Pirates of the Caribbean fic about a rock band titled Rum and Roll. I cannot claim responsibility for this. It was a group effort, but I'm proud of us for coming up with it. We Didn't Start the Fire, a book about the children of villains trying to make it in a world where they too are branded as villains. It's not their fault they are prejudged by their parents' actions. From Your Wires to Your Core is a personal favorite of mine that I used in the Detroit Become Human fandom. It just came to me when writing the final scene and I thought it would make a good title. Being Omega and Become Human were also titles I liked. Snuffing Out the Flickering Light. Love has 4 letters. A single slice of lemon cake. It's a Bobadine fic. A lemon about one dude, Cad Bane, realizing that he knows the 2 dudes in the cafe across the one he's at, and they're on a date. The cafe is called Lemony Lemony, and they share a single slice of lemon cake, and the main character has a bit of an existential crisis witnessing this. I love all my titles, but I'm really fond of Reencumbrance, a post-death story. The central character is given a choice between fading into the collective unconscious or reaccepting the burdens of existing in order to not forget the woman he loved. Tie between Fool's Errand, a Borderlands fic where a psycho bandit has to get the little girl who is his arch-enemy home safely, and wacky hijinks ensue as they travel the desert. And As Roses Lie Sleeping, an over-the-garden-wall story about the woodsman's daughter, whose motif in the story is a rose, traveling a wintry forest trying to find a way to free her soul from the beast. Off the record. It's pretty simple, but I like how it fits with the canon it's based on. It's a post-canon fic on the 36 Questions musical podcast, and one of the songs is called On the Record. And it's an ongoing theme of them saying it as well, as they're recording everything they say. Since it's post-canon, it's kind of what happens after they stop recording. I just think it's neat. Flowers Grown from Bones is the title of my current fic project. There's an overarching plant theme to the entire series, and this one is one of my favorites. It references a group of characters in canon that I'm giving a redemption arc because, 1, they weren't evil in the first place, just mischievous, and 2, I love them a lot, okay? The title is also a Minecraft reference. A couple of other titles in my series that I like are Highlights from the Cherry Blossom Front and Luminescence, which is more subtle, but there are some bioluminescent plants I had referenced previously, so the connection is present. My main long fic is called Through the Seven Gates, which is a reference to the ancient Sumerian legend of Inanna's trip to the underworld. Most of my titles are kinda silly, but I'm most proud of Need for Weed. I like rhymes, and it works as a summary of what the short fic is about. The title I'm most proud of is Sugar, Spice, and Seasonal Depression. How to Survive an Elevator 101. I haven't written many fanfics, but this title in particular has stuck with me, especially the contrast it has between the serious story and being more humorous. It's about a girl with claustrophobia stuck in an elevator and getting through a panic attack on her own without any support. We Regret the Inconvenience, about 2 characters who were stuck on a subway train. The Thespian and the Pop Star. Something about that just rolls off the tongue. In terms of being clever, Adventures in Grief and Discovery and Rising Star, Falling Star are pretty up there. Both made use of certain things hidden in the source material. Otherwise, yes, I am endlessly proud of finding a way to write a fic with the title Angiogenesis. Pick up these broken pieces so you can stitch them back together again. Angst! Private Enemy. At first glance, it's pretty straightforward. It's a play on the common term public enemy, but also the red herring presence of a real-life gang called Public Enemy No. 1. The actual antagonist is someone from the victim's past who committed a crime against them many years ago, something that the victim has kept, well, private, hence the title. The windows of my soul I throw wide open to the sun. It's a soulmate AU in which you have a dream about meeting your soulmate through their eyes. I'm currently working on a fic I've recently named Tongue-Tied and Traumatized. Started out as part of a sentence until I realized it really captures the entire work. The Grand Redesign is a favorite of my own that I too am procrastinating on. In the show Charmed, the original, not the god-awful reboot, there's a concept of fate and destiny called the Grand Design. Since in my fic, the Angels of Destiny bring back a character for a second chance, I thought it was kind of cute. It's nothing much, but it's honest work, to quote that meme. I really love the simplistic title of Her Magician, His Countess. It shows that their fates are not as separate as one would think. A mythology-inspired one-shot I wrote called Beneath This Mortal Earth. I usually suck at titles, but I wrote that line organically in the story and realized it worked really well as a title. Catchy, not too long, a bit haunting. The Barrier on the Mirror, and You Ask, We Search, We Find. Weird titles, but I love them. The Young and the Breathless, or Circling the Drain. Canon book titles all have a death theme. Ronald Weasley and the Perils of the Mind, because I came up with it right before I fell asleep, and I love this title for some reason. I have too many, but I think Half Found, Forever Lost is probably the one I'm most proud of. I'm quite proud of my titles in general, so I'm not sure if I have a favorite, but for a recent one I quite like, Marks the Spot. Shortened quite obviously from X marks the spot, one pivotal part of the fic is a cross mark across the main character's nose that has significant cultural meaning. In some, it marks her as a criminal, but there's a lot more baggage attached. But she's also going home, to the place she was marked, which pulls in for me the idea of home being marked on a map. I don't know, I just think it's a fun and fitting title. My favorite title is We Are More Than We Are One, because 1, it's a pun, the 3 main characters get stuck in the same body. 2, it's a lyric from a Lion King song. 3, All the chapter titles are lyrics from Lion King songs. There are also puns relating to what happens in the story. I think this time I'm dying, for a Groundhog Day-esque fic where a character resets to a certain day and time every time he dies. Probably in living memory. The fic is about one character essentially gaslighting another into believing a whole bunch of their friends are still alive, and convincing him he has memory problems. My upcoming fic, Incandescent, a rewrite of my current fic. Incandescent means to either glow or be full of strong emotions. My story is about androids who glow when they're full of strong emotion. I'd say the title's fitting. Or a work in progress I have called 5 Bros Chilling in a Hot Tub. Reintegration. It's about a character coming back from being in witness protection after nearly dying, and grappling with the changes in his world since he was gone. His girlfriend was pregnant with their baby, his job changed, everyone thinks he's fine, but he's not. A tin boat on a cold sea. It's a short one-shot about a toxic give-and-take relationship, and I wanted the title to somehow reflect that without being too on the nose. Bank passwords equals love. I've written the only AO3 fic tagged Bank of America. I'm broke, so it was a nice bit of escapism. It's silly, but I love my fic. Be gay, do space crimes. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'd love to hear the titles you're most proud of in the comments. If you heard any weird background noise, that was my cat playing in the background. Obviously, I didn't want to stop him. You can't just stop your cat from playing to record a YouTube video. And my voice is a little strange today, so hopefully the mic didn't pick that up, but I'm sorry if it did. Just thank you for watching, and have a great day.